right, good evening. We will call the Monday, July 13, 2026 City Council meeting to order. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then, do we have any additions to the agenda tonight?
No additions tonight, Mayor.
Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. With that, we will move to public comments. If there's anyone who would like to discuss anything that is not on the agenda, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close public comments and move to consent. Is there anything on the consent agenda that anyone would like to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. And with no further ado, we'll move right into the public hearing for the franchise agreement. Nick, should I just open it up, or do you want to say anything or say it once it's open?
I can talk once it's open.
Okay. With that, then at 6:31, we will open the public hearing for comments on the franchise application from Comcast.
Thank you. Once again, we'll welcome back Robert Freeman, representative from Comcast. So thanks for joining us once again. We don't have anybody in the audience, looks like, for the public hearing. So I'll just go a little bit over the ordinance and the process we went through. So granting a cable franchise requirement, we have legal obligations under state law that we have to have a level playing field requirement when you have cable franchise agreements. We do have an existing one with Jaguar, which is now Metronet. And so a lot of what was formulated for the Comcast cable franchise agreement was based off the Jaguar one. A lot of the language is very similar. Although since the Jaguar one was done in 2018, there have been some legal updates to things, and the city attorney has reviewed it, Comcast has reviewed it, city staff has reviewed it, and there was some back and forth between Comcast and the city. It was all very coordinated and collaborative, and some proposed changes, some updates to the language to make it more efficient and make it updated with federal law that has come out since 2018. And we had a couple deletions, which was really some antiquated language that really applied to years gone by. Otherwise, it went through a very good process on the back and forth. It was done pretty efficiently and pretty easily. The application process that we used mirrored Waconia's process very closely, since they just went through that with Waconia. So that went by pretty smooth. We met all of our posting deadlines and requirements. So at this time, we are looking to entertain the introduction of Ordinance 253 after the closing of the public hearing. That would put the ordinance as proposed. We'll post that for our required 10 days on our website. And then at the next meeting, we would look to have that adoption. I have only one minor change to look for in the ordinance. In the ordinance, I had accidentally grabbed an earlier version of it for the introduction, and in there it had a 15-year term for the cable franchise agreement. That should be 10 years, and that was an ask by Comcast to reduce that to 10. And on our side, we saw no issue with that whatsoever. So in the one that you've got in your packet, it says 15-year term, but we would reduce that to 10.
Perfect, thank you. And as you said, there's no one in the audience. And as always, I'll ask, have you had any emails, phone, mail that we need to put in for the record?
Nope, none of that. And the only application we received was from Comcast.
Perfect. All right. With that, then, we will close the public hearing at 6:34 and move to the next item, which is consider introduction of Ordinance 253, granting a cable franchise to Comcast with the one edit from 15 years to 10 years. And with that, if no one has any other questions, I'll look for a motion.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Appreciate all your time and effort and working collaboratively with staff. It's very helpful to get this smoothed out.
Thank you. I just very quickly, the staff been great to work with. We really appreciate the time and look forward to being here.
Perfect. Yep. We look forward to it also. Thank you.
One quick post note on that, city staff will be meeting with your construction management here on Wednesday. We've scheduled a meeting for 10 a.m. to go over what that schedule is going to look like.
Perfect. Perfect. And as we've said in the past, one of the biggest concerns is restoration. So we'll work through all that and make sure we're aligned there. It's some lessons learned from previous things. So I appreciate it. With that, then we'll move to the next business item. Consider approval of quote for a bathymetric study of storm ponds.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Works Committee met after this item was sent back down from the City Council level to the Public Works Committee. It was reviewed, and after discussion, Phil had worked on shoring up the scope of the work as well as cost quote to make sure that was in order. And then with that, a memo was included in the packet. We are looking to do 4 ponds as part of this out of the 45 we have. Not all 45 would get done, but looking at doing the 4 that we have highlighted here. These were based off of, and Phil can go into greater detail, but pulled up the ages of ponds, different areas for those, and felt that these 3 in particular, represented a true age of some of the older ponds. They get a good idea of how fast they have been pulling in. We have done 23 and 24. That was done in 2023 previously, so we do have data on these, so it'd be adding these. And then the one down here at the corner of 30 and 25, this one we're adding in as a request from, well, as a demand from the Carver County Water Management Organization. When we were originally looking at doing all this with Team Lab, when Dollar General had gone in, the WMO wanted to see that pond reviewed to make sure it was sufficient for stormwater needs existing and going into the future. We told them we would do that as we were coordinating with Team Lab. So this one gets included in because the WMO wanted to see it done. And I think it also coordinates well when we get it done with the County Road 30 improvements that are coming next year as well. Phil, if you'd like to take over from there.
Yeah, just as you said, with those 4, we can use one whole day, one trip, knock those 4 out. Those other 3, 31, 14, and 15 are some of the older ones with the development. So that's how we worked with staff to figure out how those, which ones we would pick. Circa 2000, 2005, those were constructed. So looking to get some good information there. We'll come out, I think, later in the month where schedules open up. We'll get it done. 2 guys out there, one doing the work that you see the depth, and then for safety, second guy needs to be out there. So he'll walk around, look for anything else, storm sewer related outlets, inlets, all that kind of stuff to make sure everything else is looking good there. So yeah, if there's any questions, we'd be happy to answer anything.
So for the 3 ponds, the quote was not to exceed $7,000 to do the work. We'll get that data back. Potential optional on that, depending on how the results come back, would be, if recommended based on task 1 results, coordinate sediment sampling and testing with an independent laboratory. We discussed that, and if that were needed, that would be approximately $2,500 per pond to have that tested and analyzed.
So you said you did testing on 2 of them before.
Correct.
What was the findings with those?
The findings on those,
And was there anything done or needed done?
From what I recall, the email, we were about a quarter of the way full, and you don't, or started to fill up with sediment. Usually don't do anything to the ponds until they're half full.
Okay.
So when they lose half of their capacity. So I think Nick's got it here, but
yep, got it here. So this is 23 and 24 is another one, but it follows the same format. Date of testing, acreage, all data, and then percentage of sludge capacity loss in there. And then what we got is topographical depth here, so this gives you an idea of where it's going in, the depths of where the sludge was found. And then a side rendering of approximate sludge depth, water, and constructed pond depth on that. So we got that for 23 and 24.
Did they have an idea how quickly sediment piles up?
So-
Lack of better term.
Generally, and I think Phil, you'll mirror this, you tend to have, if you're going to have infill, it tends to happen at the beginning when it's first constructed because you don't have vegetation established to stop the sediment from going in.
Okay.
You do have sediment control devices that go out there, but when a development happens or when a pond is put in, that's when you generally see the most go in. Once grass and reeds and things established, that slows the infill.
Okay.
But typically 20, 25, 30 years, depending on how fast that inflow is, about the life before you start hitting your limits. So testing these older ones is a good thing to do.
Okay.
Any further comments on that, Phil?
No, no, I think you hit most of the there. I mean, these are in that 20 years old. And they're about a quarter, so you should get, hard to say. Like Nick was saying, they sort of kind of, the big slug comes first, and then it sort of kind of tapers off. So we should expect to see these last for a good amount of years.
What was the test date on that?
2022.
2023?
That's what I said.
Okay.
So this was 2022.
2022.
Oh, sorry.
Constructed, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
They're 2000.
No.
So yeah,
I was
this was
just looking at the
testing
depth.
date.
We're near 50% back in 2022.
Right, that's why I was asking, like,
Okay.
how long does it take then? So that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
And like Phil said, we try to get a full day's worth to get them out here versus a half day, get some of that. So are they gonna pull a sample and then determine if it gets sent in, or how does that work?
Yeah, we'll see how much is in there.
Yeah.
And if you start getting to that time where we need to clean these. What usually happens is you hire someone to come in, Braun Intertech or one of these laboratories. They come in during the winter and they drill a hole in it, and then they just walk on there and scoop the stuff out in 2 spots. They pull it out and then they just go test it at their laboratory. Is usually is
okay.
part B of this, or part 2, or
Yeah,
task
yeah.
2, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
And then how, what method of disposal you need to do to get rid of it. Does it need to go to a landfill? Can it just be dried and then go on
Okay.
a farm field or whatever? But generally, yeah, that's.
That was my misunderstanding. I thought you guys would pull the sample and then send it to the lab if it
No,
was
we
determined.
do the
Oh,
depth. So
okay.
then the next phase is,
Okay, so we don't need to worry about sampling yet till we
Not
get
yet.
your results, and that can come to a different council meeting at
Correct.
that time from that, after we see where they're at.
And you'll know that day just by going and looking, yeah.
yeah, we should know fairly quickly. We gotta
Okay.
take we have all the record drawings for, I wouldn't say all of them, most of the ponds, so we can know where the depth is
Mhm.
and then bring that data back and start looking at it and
Okay.
confirm how deep
Right.
it's filled in.
Sounds fun. Perfect.
Sounds good. Any other questions for the city engineer or the administrator?
Nope, I think all the points got hit.
So with that, then I'll look for a motion to approve the not to exceed fee of $7,000 to do the 4 ponds that were highlighted.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries 4-0. With that, we will move to city council reports. Councilmember Fausch, anything to report on?
Nope, I got nothing. I was at Mayor Rising. It seemed like a good turnout,
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
it was for everyone. Councilmember Helt?
Haven't had any meetings, but same thing Sam said about Mayor Rising. Looked like a good turnout.
And Councilmember Jackson.
Park board tomorrow.
Perfect. And I had we had the personnel or our public works committee meeting to talk about the ponds, which we just went over. And then, I agree. The festival was a great turnout. A lot of people attended. It was hot, but everyone kind of thought the heat's better than rain. So with that, certainly want to thank the Mayor Rising Community Festival Committee, who put a lot of time and effort into organizing this. It's a very small committee. I think they did a fantastic job, and thank you to Mayor Public Works. Thank you to staff for their help. Thank you to the members of the Mayor Fire Department who put on, they sold burgers all day and then put on the bands after. So very thankful for that. Certainly a long day for most of them. I'm sure they probably didn't get home till 1:30 after cleanup. And then unfortunately, right after that at 2:15, they had a call for
Oh, no.
that they
That's
had to
right.
go out probably right when they hit the pillow.
Yeah.
So couldn't thank them enough for everything they do. A thank you to Deputy Buckentine from the Carver County Sheriff's Department for doing the bike rodeo, which was another big hit this year. And thank you to Bob's Repair, Heltz Bar, and Knuckleheads Bar and Grill for donating the 4 bikes for the bike rodeo, which were given away. And two boys and 2 girls were ecstatic to win them. And again, thank you to everyone else who volunteered last minute for the bouncy house setup, tear downs, and parking cars, and everything else. We appreciate it. It would not be a success without everyone joining in, so we do appreciate it. So with that, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
We have a motion, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Was there a disc golf tournament?
No, it never materialized.
Was it a bummer? Disc golf tournament.
Oh.